Hi friend, welcome to Taci Studio. I'm Taci, and in this channel we talk mostly about knitting and crochet, but occasionally I will share with you a fun recipe or some embroidery or some other crafts that I'm making. I really love to diversify the things that I do, and it is my goal to be able to freely do things that I like, and I love to share them with you. So today I am coming to you from Portland, Oregon, and I am going to be showing you recap of everything that I did in my colorful or creative knitting and crochet journey through 2024. I hope that this will be fun for you, and I hope that you stay and check what I was up to this year. First, I wanted to say and give you a little bit of a recap of how many projects I did, and I'm sorry, I have been sick, so my voice is not the best, but I really wanted to record this and have that for you today. I have knit a total of 34 items in 2024. I feel like I wasn't one of the most prolific knitters, but I also feel that I did what felt comfortable to me and what felt like this is still very much a hobby, and that I can do as a slow process, and that I enjoyed it. So in a way, I feel very accomplished, and I feel like it was a good amount. I'm not counting what I have done just to show numbers, but mostly for myself to make a recap and for me to be able to reflect on what I have done, the things that I really liked doing, the things that I wear the most, and the things that also did not work so well for me. Last year in 2024, I had several goals. One of them was to find the perfect fitting socks for myself, and with that I bought a fabulous book by Summer Lee, and I followed some of her patterns, and I did I think that I could count that I did maybe 4 pairs of socks. I wanted to do at least 6, so in that sense I did not accomplish my goal, but I also felt that I learned a lot. And I set up some goals in the beginning of the year, but I'm not too strict about keeping those goals, because my objective is to learn, and also to learn what works best for me, and that's why I like to set those goals. This year I decided that I'm going to set intentions. And I heard somebody say that, and I thought that for me it will probably work a lot better to set intentions instead of goals or resolutions. Resolutions sound like something really strong that if I don't accomplish, then I would feel like I failed. If I set up intentions, then I feel more that if I don't accomplish, I had the intention to do it, but if I don't accomplish, I still learned with whatever it is that I end up accomplishing. And I think that that word sounds a little bit lighter to me. I also make goals for the whole year, but with the intention that I review them every quarter, and if I want to change something, if I want to introduce something new, that I also give myself permission, and I also feel that it's okay for me to do that. So with that in mind, I wanted to tell you that I finished a total, and I will be posting information here. I saw another podcaster that had the information, and I thought that was very helpful, so I will do the same. And I had a total of 34 knitted and crochet pieces. And I am not counting in there that I also knitted 15 dish scrubbies, which I will show it to you in the end, because those are smaller. I also made up the pattern myself, but I am gonna try to put that on my Ravelry and for free, in case you want to make some also. And I did not count them because since they are so small, I didn't count on my number of pieces. But if I did, I would have had 49 pieces that I knitted or crocheted this year. But some of them are not finished, and that's another thing that I would like to put on my intention, is this year when I start something to go all the way until I finish that project before I start another one. And I will talk about that more on my next video, which will be my intentions for 2025. But out of those 34 knitted pieces, I knitted 8 sweaters, 2 vests, 5 shawls or scarves, 6 hats, 6 socks, and 1 fingerless mitten, and 6 toys. And as I said, the 15 dish scrubbies. So my intention, and I will be referring to my journal, so if I look down, you know that I'm just trying to get some of this information. I remember some of them was a year ago, and I might not remember that, so I will be referring to my journal to give that information to you. And I will also be showing the garments that I have with me. Some of these things that I made, I already gave it as a gift, so I won't be able to show it to you, but I will show a picture posted over here. So starting in January, I started January by knitting a pair of socks for my son, because for Christmas I gave them a little sock ornament like this one, and I gave my kids that, and I put a ball of yarn as a promise keeper. I saw Marlene from Marlene Knits, and she does that with her partner and other people that she wants to give a knitted gift on the next year. And I thought it was a really cute idea, so I started doing the same. And I knitted a pair of socks, and I'm going to put the picture here so you can see. It was the Sunday socks by Petite Knit, and I started this project on January 3rd, and I ended the pair of socks on January 28th. So it only took me 25 days. I used US 3.5 millimeter needles, and I used Barocco Lana's Light, which is 100% wool. And this was a hit this year. I made 3 of them for my son, his girlfriend, and then I made one for my daughter, and now I really want to make one for myself. It's so far I haven't done one for me. Also in January I finished a shirt that I had made I had started in June of 2023, so it would not be a fair assessment for me to tell you how long it took me to make this one, because I started and hibernated, and then I finished this on January 30th. And this is the Suri shirt by Knititng, and I really enjoyed making this shirt. However, the yarn is a little bit prickly for me, so this shirt has ribbed edges, which makes it look very well finished, and I really like the round neck also. And I would have loved to have it as a shirt, because it has split hems, and I really like it like that also. I made mine a little bit longer, but because my skin is very sensitive, and I cannot wear this yarn, which I will let you know which yarn I used. It was the Bio Balance by BC Garn, and it's 50% pure organic wool and 45% pure organic cotton. Because of the cotton, I thought I was going to be able to wear this close to skin, and it just did not work for me. It itches and it scratches my skin, that I get really my skin gets really red, and I just did not think it was worth it. And so I do wear, but I wear as a vest, and it turned out a little bit bigger for me than I would like for a vest, but it's still a really nice vest, and I still wear it, and I still really like it. So would I knit this again? Well, yes, if I find a yarn that would be very soft, and a very soft cotton, probably for this summer. The next project, still in January, and one of my very favorite for this year, it's my ranunculus sweater. I made this sweater. I bought yarn to make another one. I actually bought the very same yarn, except in a different color. This was my very first ranunculus sweater, and I for sure is not going to be the last one. I already made a summer one. I have yarn to make another one, which I hope to make very soon, probably in February, because it's a really pretty pink, and it would be really fun to wear for Valentine's. And I started this sweater in November of 2023. I started on November 26th, and I finished on February 25th of 2024. So it took me almost 3 months. It was 89 days maybe, or maybe 90, because November and December have 31 days, so maybe 90 or 91 days. But I did slowly. I was learning a few of the stitches, and I had to stop in the month of December, because I don't usually, I have so many gift knits that I am still doing in December, so I don't consider that it took me the whole 3 months. This year I'm gonna try to pause the days and write down when I put something to hibernate, so then when I come back to the project I know exactly how long it took. This ranunculus, I made with the Magpie Fiber Quartet worsted, and it was an absolute pleasure to work with this yarn. I loved it so much that, as I said, I bought more of the same yarn. The next thing that I did in January was a Sophie's shawl, the longer one, and this is also one of my very favorite. I see myself reaching for this all the time, and I wear all the time, and I love it. I made this, I did not finish until March, but it's also because I put it to hibernate, and I made this using Madeline Tosh Sport, which I bought many years ago, so I don't even know if they still make the same, and in the color Farmhouse White, and it's super versatile for me, and I use this a lot. So it was and I just wanted to show you I am referring to my journal, which I can show and give a little bit more information. This journal was something I printed and I made for myself because it had the exact things that I like. But this year I have ordered a different one because it was a lot of work to design and print this whole thing. So I am referring to it so I can so I have more precise information to give to you. Now we go into February, and February was also a month that I did a few things that it was a lot of fun, but I only got one pair of socks and started another pair of socks and did a few toys with my grandson. So in February I did make another Sunday sock by Petite Knit, this time for my daughter. The one I made for my daughter I made with classic wool worsted patterns, and in the color Natural Mix. I wanted to see if I did with a little bit thicker yarn how it would take it, and it was just as great as the other yarn that I used. I also used started another one which I finished in March, and is this one, which the Barocco Lana's Light, which I really like, and it's in the color 78110. This Lana's Light is a really nice yarn to make this Sunday socks. And the first one that I made for my daughter, I started on the 1st of February, and I finished the pair on February 20. So that took me about 20 days, and it's a really good time, and I like that. The other one I made for Tay, I have mentioned her a few times, my son's girlfriend, and I started on the 17th of February and I finished on March 9th. So it took me only, February 17 is 20 days also. So it's an average of 20 days to make this Sunday socks by Petite Knit, and I really enjoy that. I think that I need to make some more of the decay socks because those are very motivating, so you can finish so quickly. In February I started doing some crochet toys with my grandson, and we had so much fun. this year I'm gonna try to make at least 3 more for him. I made 3 last year. We were going to make 1 every month, but ends up that it takes a long time, and he likes to help me with it, so I have to take some time to wait and when he is here with us, and he really enjoys helping with that. So the first one that we made, and I made these toys from the book Edward's Menagerie, and and the designer is Carrie Lord. The first one that we made, and what I did is I would give him the book, and I have the book, a picture of the book here, and I would give him the book and have him choose. The first one he chose was Austin the Rhino, and we did this, was the first one, and this one I made with blue sky fiber in the color 1301, which is Storm Cloud, and it had 123 yards, or 50 grams, and I used all of the yarn. I actually had to sew the parts together with a different yarn because I didn't have any of the yarn left over, and it took me, I started on February 16th, and I believe I finished it in the end of February, but I did not write it down in here. I used a 3mm crochet hook, and it was a pleasure to crochet this. Now let's go to March and see what I did in March. We started the month by crocheting another toy. This time it was Emma the Bunny, and from the same book, Edward's Menagerie book by Carrie Lord, and it was another fun project with my grandson. We started March 4th and we ended on March 29th. I used a 3mm crochet hook again, and this time I used Brooklyn Tweed Loft. And the other thing that I started in March, it was I participated on a knit along that Leslie friend from A Friend to Knit With, Gina from Skein Cocaine, and Margaret from Boboleros. They were hosting a knit along, and we did a knit along for the Dartmoor sweater by Kaidre. I actually left mine as a vest, and I really like, and I wear it a lot as a vest. I love this little detail on the back of this sweater, and I decided to not do the sleeves, and I'm glad that I did that because I really enjoy as a vest. I used Knitting for Olive, soft silk mohair, and blue sky fibers. The blue sky fibers is on number 1302, which is Gravel Road, and the Knitting for Olive soft silk mohair, it's on the color Hazel. And I absolutely love this vest, and I wear it a lot. I next year, well, this coming year now, I'm going to try to measure how many grams I used of the yarn and how much yarn I have left, this way I can report to you next year, but I haven't done that in on this year, this past year of 2024. Now we go into April, and I am going to report the projects that I have finished on that month, because my next project was a vanilla sock by Summer Lee, and I made these socks in April, and I was trying to do this one to learn to do the afterthought heel, which I like it. And when I do striped socks like this, I am going to do the afterthought heel. I like better. But when I do just a plain sock or a vanilla sock or a sock with a different pattern on them, I prefer the gusset because it works better for my feet. And but I really enjoyed learning to stick that and open the back and did the the afterthought heel, and I was very proud of myself for learning something new and for being able to finish the whole pair of socks. And I started this on March 9th, and I didn't finish until April 11th, but I was very happy with my progress, and I was doing other projects with it. This was done with the Freckled Whimsy Serendipity sock yarn, and the color is Magical, and it had 8 stripe repeat. So I'm very, very happy with them, and I'm learning to like handmade socks better. My feet, I have juvenile diabetes, and my feet are very, very sensitive. So these socks are not always my most favorite when I wear shoes with them, but I do like them when I wear with my slippers. And I've been trying to I'm still on a quest to find the perfect fitting socks for me, but I'm also still on a quest to find the yarn that feels the best on my feet. So this is a nice yarn, but it's still not my very favorite. I'm still looking for that perfect sock. So the next thing I did in March was my objective, 2 of my plans was to do at least 2 test knits in 2024, and I ended up doing 3. So I'm very excited and happy that I accomplished my goal for that. And this one I started on March, and I finished the test knit, and I started on March 22nd and finished the test knit on April 23rd, which was very, very short time to finish that. But I finished the test knit, which only required for you to finish 1 sleeve, and that's what I did. I finished 1 sleeve, and I finished the rib, but then I did not like the length, so I took that out, and I'm going to make this a little bit longer so I can start the rib for the body. and then I need to still finish the second sleeve. I would say that that's one of my biggest objectives, and I think I have already mentioned that, is to start a project and go all the way to the end and finish. This bumpy sweater was a test knit for Max the knitter, Max Sear, and I used Juniper Moonshine Fine, which is a baby alpaca, organic silk, Highland wool, and recycled nylon. And I used Spin Cycle dyed in the wool Verba Volante for the bumpy side things. I did a little bit of color management with the Spin Cycle on the sleeves, so I would have the same colors on the other sleeve, and I have everything saved to finish this. This is on my list to try to finish in January or February. I think I have 4 unfinished projects from last year, and I'm gonna try to finish one at least every quarter. So hopefully I'll be able to accomplish this one also, and have that finished. I think I got discouraged because I did not like the length, and I had to undo it, and then I just wanted to go on with other things. But we're now in April, and I think I have told you before, if you have been here before, that I do like to start knitting a hat or a pair of socks for my kids for Christmas, and I start them in June or July. And this year I wanted to start one for my daughter because I found the yarn and I really liked it, so I started in April, but I only finished it in August because I started in April and I lost momentum, and I started doing something else. So then I only finished in August, so I don't know exactly how long it's going to take me to make one of this, but I'm making one for myself now, so I'll be able to judge how long it takes. And that is the Oslo hat. I made the Oslo hat mohair by Petite Knit, using Knitting for Olive merino in the color soft blue, and the Knitting for Olive soft silk mohair in the color soft blue, also held together. I used a 3.5 millimeters needle, or a US 3, and I absolutely love this hat, and so did my daughter. She really liked, and she's a little picky with what she wears, so I'm making one for myself now in red, and I can't wait to finish it so I can wear it. But this was also another successful knit of this year. The last toy that I made with my grandson this year was also made in March, and this is Benedict the chimpanzee. We started this one in March 29th and I didn't finish until May 9th, so it took me just a little bit, maybe a month and 10 days to finish this, which would be about 40 days. And it's also from the same Edwards Menagerie book. For this one I used the D Lana yarn, which is 100% Lana merino, and this was not an easy thing to work on. This yarn is very nice yarn, but it's very easy to fall apart. So with crochet and with this kind of toy, it broke a lot, and I had a hard time having to put it back together. And the face, a chimpanzee's face, I used a yarn that I had left over on my stash, and I don't remember exactly what it was, but this was fun, but not as fun to work doing crochet with this yarn, I have to I have to say. So we are now in the month of May, and in May I made one of these scarves, and it's the Party Line scarf by Casey Apple from Young Folk Knits, and it's the very, very cute scarf. But the one I made in May, I finished, but I gave it as a gift, and I started this other one for myself, but this one I did not finish. I used the US 6 or 4 millimeter needles, and I used the yarn, a yarn that I really wanted to try, and it's Penelope, and this is on the color Badiane, and I think this might be a French yarn because it's written in French. It's 90% wool, 10% silk, and it is really soft. So this is on my list, another one on my list to finish. And it's going to get finished this year. In May, I got the fever to start knitting spring garments, and I made I really wanted to make a toaster tee by Rebecca Clow, and I made this toaster tee on using the Fibonacci equation to do the stripes. So I made in stripe with 2 colors of a yarn that I had never used before, that I found on my local Joann's, and it's the Eddie Bauer organic cotton. I actually bought a lot of that yarn to make some more garments this year, and I really hope to make a few more of the toaster tees, because I love this. Is a very, very simple and easy tee to make, and I'm looking forward to making more of them this next year. And I started this on May 12th, and I finished on June 9th, and I wasn't knitting exclusively. I knit at least 3 or 4 projects at a time, mostly because I like to have an easy project that I don't need to think too much and that I can bring with me when I go places. And I also like to have a project that I can knit while we travel a lot to a place that it's about 3.5 hours from our house, and when we go, I like to have a project that is not very hard that I can work on in the car. And I also like to have a project that is a little bit harder, that has, that I need to put more thought into it, but that I can work on that in the evenings while we watch TV. But and I try to knit every morning before I start. Since I retired, I try to knit between half an hour to an hour in the morning while I drink my coffee, and I like to knit a sock or a hat, because I I'm trying really hard to exercise, and when the weather is good, I go out and walk, and I try to knit and walk. But when the weather is not good, I can ride my bike inside the house, but it's still knit while I'm doing. If it's an easy sock or easy hat, I can do that without any problems. So in the month of May, I also knitted one sock, not a whole pair, but I knit a sock, and I'm gonna finish this one, the second one this year. I started on May 22nd, and I stopped probably 2 weeks after, so I probably knit this one in 2 weeks because it started being really warm, and I thought I was not going to wear this in the spring and summer, so I decided to just stop and hibernate and finish the other one this year. So this will be, after I finish the one that I'm working on right now, this will be my next one that I'm going to finish. And these are the colored blocked ribbed socks from Summerlee's book, The Sock Project. I do my socks. I figured out that the best for me is 60 stitches, or the 56, I think, is the one that I'm knitting right now. And the ribbed socks so far are the ones that works best for me, because I like my socks to be pretty snug. I don't like to be loose or moving too much on my feet. As I said, it makes me feel uncomfortable, and my feet are very sensitive. So this I made with Bobolero's Grace Fingering, which is a BFL sock, and this one, the color is Enchanted Peace, and I absolutely love it. It's from my friend Margaret from Bobolero's, and I love how these socks are turning out. Another project that I did in May, we are still going on May, it was another ranunculus, and I have to say, I wore this so much this past summer, that I'm making another summer one. I made this one, I started on June 10th, and I finished it on July 8th. I used a US 9 instead of the 10 that it was recommended, and I think that it turned out perfect for this yarn. This yarn is the Knitting for Olive Pure Silk, and I in the color cream, even though it does look like white, and for me, I feel that it's more white than cream, but I really, really, really love this. It was another one of my favorites for this year. So in the end, I will tell you my 3 favorite garments, and this one is one of them. Now we're going to the month of June, and in the month of June I started a crochet project that I'm going to hope to accomplish this year. I'm trying to do a self-drafted shirt or light sweater to wear in the summer, and it's inspired by a brand that they have in Brazil, and they do not, it's not pattern or yarn, they just sell the clothes already pre-made, but I absolutely loved this, and I started that, but it's a little harder than I thought to self-draft a pattern, so I did not finish that, and it's gonna continued to go, and I also worked very heavily on my ranunculus. So these were the only projects really that I finished in June. And then we are in the middle of the year, and I start usually doing my Christmas projects in the middle of the year, but I did not start in July this year. I in July started doing this lila top, which is by Knititng also, and you can see that it's not finished because it started being I started in July, in July 10th, and then I hibernated because I knitted through the month of July, and I was knitting other things, and then I got so motivated for fall because it was looking in August. It started looking, and so many people started doing fall projects that I just did not want to make myself work on something that I didn't really want to make. But I'm really looking forward to picking this up again in the spring. I used a US 4 with this, and it's my very first time using this Sadness Garn linen, and a lot of people say they have issues with this yarn splitting, but I have to say I loved working with this yarn because it's so soft, and the more you work with, the softer it gets, and I absolutely love this color. So I'm really looking forward to finishing this spring and then being able to wear it this spring and summer. I just wanted to show you what I worked on. I also worked on a pair of socks which I couldn't find because it must be on my luggage. We were traveling and I couldn't find where it was at the house, but this was a basic sock and it was a summerly project. I had made one of them a long time ago, and at that time I really had this second sock syndrome. I would make one sock and leave the other one because I couldn't get myself to make the very same thing again. So I started Knitting Natty had this sock week going from July 21st to July 27th, and I told myself that I was going to finish this sock, and I did. I worked on it, and in 1 week I finished the second one, and now I have a pair and I can wear that. So I used knitted width for the heel and the calves and the toes, and for the foot I used La Bien Aimée, and I really enjoyed having a challenge to myself and being able to complete that sock. So that's one more thing to motivate me to keep working on something and then finishing it. Now we are in August. In August, I'm feeling a little bit nervous because I'm showing so many of the projects that I did not finish, but I feel like it was something that I started making and I didn't finish for one reason or another, and I still want to be able to show it to you. So I'm gonna take a chance and show you what I started in August and did not finish, but I will tell you why I did not finish this one. This is the framed sweater by Andrea Maury, and it was the Rhinebeck sweater this year. And my objective, and the reason why I started in August, is because I really wanted to wear, even though I was not going to Rhinebeck, but I really wanted to be able to wear when they all were going to wear their sweaters. But, and I'm going to tell you, I used ritual dyes for Cynthia. The Sprite is the sport weight, which is 60% merino, 40% Corriedale, and it's for Cynthia is the color, and is this color that I used to frame the sweater. Then I bought the Spinster's Daughter worsted, which was the Farmer's Daughter and Spin Cycle, and that's the main color. And it's Love Me Like You Used To. And then I used the Spin Cycle Dream State Salty Dog color, and I love the combination. I love what I did, but I made the sweater like probably twice the size that I needed to make to fit me. And once I did not even really notice, and once I split for the sleeves, I also made a mistake on the pattern, and the pattern went out of, I started knitting instead of following the pattern. I started following the pattern back and forth, which is what you usually do when you knit straight, not on the round anymore. And I lost the star patterns, so I got so upset, so disappointed. But I am so wanting to have this, and I was debating if I should undo it or should I leave it as a super big sweater. But I don't think that I will. I probably need to take this much off to fit me, and I don't think that I'm going to really like a sweater that is this oversized. So I think I'm gonna have to make the difficult decision to completely undo this and try it again for this year. I do not know if I'm gonna try this winter or if I'm gonna wait until maybe next fall and try to do it 1 year later. So, but it's better late than never, right? So the next thing I needed in August was I bought a Wooble kit, and I made a little penguin, Pierre the penguin, with my grandson, and he loved it. We decided to make a smaller toy instead of one of those big ones that we were making before. I don't have the toy here with me, but I showed you a picture. I also signed up and got chosen to do another test knit, this time for La Bien-Aimée, and for Amy from La Bien-Aimée, and this is the Le Triangle granny pattern. This was such a fun project. I was gifted by a friend a yarn that I had never actually heard about it, and it's the Schmutzerella yarns. I don't know if I'm pronouncing it right, and it's morphing mini skeins, and it was a 6-pack Mystery of the Scarlet Mustard in fingering weight, and I mixed that with the La Bien-Aimée and I cannot remember the name on that one, and I will write it down for you in here. And I have posted on a different, and I have not weave all of the ends because each row was a different color, so I still have a couple to weave, but I have actually used this before, and this was so nostalgic for me because my mom used to make little granny square blankets for us. I still have one. Someday I will show it here to you. And I loved making this because it really made me think about her and about this craft that she taught me, and it was really nostalgic but also really happy. I felt really close to her, so it was a great test knit to do, and I really appreciate that she let me test knit for her. I started the test knit on September 9th and I finished on September 25th. I used a 3.5 millimeter hook, and it was due on October 4th, but I finished mine on September 25th, which was probably, I finished in about 2 weeks. So that was a really quick, I made mine a little bit smaller, but it was a really quick crochet project. The next thing that I made in September was a hat for my son, and I will post a picture here. And I made his hat with the Fiber Company, the Fiber Co. Acadia on which is a rustic blend of silk, noil, baby alpaca, and merino wool. For some reason it does not have the color name here on the label, but I did make, it's a very, very deep dark blue, green, and he said this is one of his favorite hats. And I used the pattern, the classic ribbed hat by Pearl Soho, which is by Jake Canton for Pearl Soho. And I made the adult large for my son using a 3.25 millimeters. I started on September 14th and stopped to do something else, and I think it was I started another test knit, and then I picked up again and finished on November 3rd. We are then now on October, and in October I signed up and finished in November my most fabulous, which is also one of my favorite. I signed up for a test knit for Beth McDonald Stones, and I did the Simply the Best Introdu sweater pullover. This was a fantastic test knit. She is a fabulous designer, and there's very little that we need to mention when test knitting for her, because I think she's got it down. And I really enjoyed making this sweater. I made mine with blue sky fiber, the fingering new, they have a new, is not silk mohair, but oh my goodness, it just escaped me now, and I will I will post I will write it down here. And it's mixed with Pearl Soho linen quill, and I used a red yarn that I had on my, because you use very little of this red yarn, the contrasting color, and I just had a red on my stash, and that's what I used. And I made this to be my Christmas sweater, and I wore it for my Christmas party with my knitting friends. I did one very small change, and I asked her if it was okay to I added a little red stripe on the end of my rib, and I really like that. I thought about doing that here on the neck, but I decided not to, because I did not want to take the attention from the yoke. And this is just a fabulous pattern if you want to make a sweater that is going to be, it's a very nice construction. I don't want to give too much away, but I think that she says this on her Ravelry. It's you start from the top, down. No, I'm so sorry. You start from the bottom up, then you do the neck, and then you leave live stitches here, and you come back, pick up the live stitches and do the body, so you can choose the length that you want on the body. So it's a fabulous construction, and it was so much fun to do something different, and I learned a lot. So we're losing light very quickly, so I hope that it's still okay, because I want to make sure that I finish this video. And I think that that's all I worked on October, and I finished in November. It was my Simply the Best intro, because I really wanted to finish my test knit on time. On November, I still had three more hats, I think, to make, and I did finish. So I made a hat for Tay, which I'll post a picture here, and I started on November 18th, and I finished on November 25th. I bought the yarn at Sacred Sheep this year, and it was the Lear hat by Woolfolk Design Team, and I used the Woolfolk yarn, and I will post in here the exact color, because I did not finish my entry yet. And then I made toast mitts for myself, and I have the picture here. I started in the end of November, and it took me 1 week to finish a pair, and I loved it. I used the Knit and Crochet yarn by Premium Yarn, and you can get that at well, I was able to get it at our local Joann's, and this one was in the color Cardinal Feathers. December 1st, I started my Woolens and Nash socks, which was supposed to be a Advent sock, and I want to make sure that if you haven't made yours, I think most people already posted, so you would see. I did not finish mine. December is a very busy month for us, very busy with my grandson and our family, and I love spending time with all of them, so I would rather spend time with them. And I also had 3 more gift knits to finish, so I wasn't able to finish mine, but I decided that it was better to wait till January so I could fully enjoy. And I'm doing mine. This is the Woolens and Nosh Christmas 2024 Christmas Advent, and it's a Targi fingering yarn, and I'm making the Summerly pattern for the ribbed socks from her book also, because as I mentioned, I feel that the ribbed socks fit me a little bit better, so if I can, I prefer to use that pattern. And I am on I think I am on stripe 16 now, and I'm just gonna keep going. And I know it's January, but I've been doing this while I ride the bike, because it's really cold here for me to work out outside, and I just hold with this little bag that I had made last year from Pearl Soho, and I ride the bike while I'm doing my socks in the morning, and I'm really enjoying that. I also made one of the hats, the same hat, the Lear hat. I made one for my daughter also in the end of December, so I could give to her for her birthday. However, I made this one a little bit longer, and I made this with the, so she could fold the brim. And I did not, I'm going to bind off right now, but I did not, because I wanted to make sure that she tried and that she was okay with the length, because she likes to have those little pointy things here on her hats. And this is the Fleety Bulky by Woolfolk, and this color is the color, oh good lord, I'm gonna have to take it out because I can't, I don't have, I only bought one, I only needed one ball of yarn, and is the FB00, and it's a very pretty cream color. After I finished my daughter's, I made my almost very last knit of 2024, which is my Ashen Vest by the Woolfolk, and the pattern is by the Woolfolk design team. I started on December 26th and I finished this on December 29th or 30th. It's also with Fleek Bulky. The color is FKB1, which is this very, very pretty and the softest yarn that I think I have ever worked with, or that I have ever worn. It is absolutely fabulous, and it was so fun to start a vest and finish it in 4 days. The needles are really big. I used I believe it was a size 11 needle, so they hurt my hands a little bit, but it was worth it. And it was also not something that it took too long, so I could do a little bit of this and then I would stop and do something else. And I have worn this already so many times, and I'll post a picture so you can see me wearing it, and it was fun to work. The other thing I told you I would show you is I made those little scrubbies, and I made them and put a little label in there, and I gave this to our extended family with a little saute pan, and I also gave to I made some for my kids, but now I'm gonna start making some more because everybody loves this. I bought the Scrabology, Scrab It. I used to make this with tulle a long time ago, and it's harder on my hands, harder to find, and this yarn works perfectly fine. I have to say that one of these little scrabbies will last me at least 6 months, because you can put them on the dishwasher, and at least once a week I put them on the dishwasher, and it somewhat sanitizes them because they wash them with a hot water. What I do, and I will make an effort hopefully this next week, to put this pattern on my Ravelry as a scrabby, dish scrabby, and it's super easy. All you have to do is you make one circle, then you make another circle, and you put them together by crocheting both of them together, and then you finish, you knot, and then I just put the yarn inside, and that's it. So I use 2 of them because I feel that 2 of them makes it a little bit stronger and better for you to work with on your dishes. And you can use one for scrubbing your pots and pans and one for your dishes. And I don't buy sponges anymore. I only use this, and I make lots of them because my whole family loves it. And now for the last thing that I have started in 2024, and I have not stopped, but I just didn't finish because I didn't have enough time. I started this on December 31st, and this is going to be an Oslo hat for myself, and I am very, very excited to have this. I am knitting this with I have to write down the yarn here. I bought this on Sacred Sheep. No, I'm so sorry. I bought this on Flock this year. I am very excited to finish this for myself. I do not have any Oslo hats yet, and I think this will be a really cute hat to wear during Valentine's, and I'm very excited to be able to make one for myself now. So I think this is it for me for 2024. I would give 2024 a 8 out of 10 because I did finish more projects than I didn't finish, but one of my objectives was to start and finish projects, so I would not be carrying unfinished projects to the next year. Some of them I had a really good reason why, but some were just I lost a little bit of motivation. But I can see now that I am excited and motivated again to finish them. The other thing that was my objective was to be flexible and to be kind to myself, that even if I didn't finish too many projects, or even if I did not do all of the things that I had planned, that I also gave space for me to change my mind, for me to just be kind and flexible with something else that I wanted to start, and also leave some space for new things that show up all the time, and that it was exciting for me to just make a decision and apply for a test knit and just do something different that was not on my plans. So I am very happy that I was with what I was able to accomplish. I did a few tutorials, not really tutorials, but just show you how I do some of the things. I'm going to continue to do this into 2025. My hope for 25 is to have less things unfinished. But if I again start things and don't finish, I'm also going to be kind to myself again and give myself permission to be spontaneous. So I hope that this was helpful to you. I hope that you found inspiration on some of my projects. I also want to say, like I said in the end, my very favorite projects this year were my ranunculus sweater, the toys that I made with my grandson, but more for the experience than the crochet itself, because I don't love sewing and putting all the little parts together, but it was so much fun to make that with him and to have those memories, and that he loves them so much. And then my introduce, the very best introduce sweater pullover, which is one of my very favorite sweaters also that I knit this year. I hope that you will be kind to yourself, and I hope that if you like this kind of videos, that you will click the thumbs up, and that you will subscribe if you're not a subscriber yet, and that you will come back to see me. I'm gonna try to make more videos showing you details of what I do. And today I'm wearing the Easy V sweater by Boyland Knitworks, Caitlin Hunter. It's one of my very favorites that I made in 2023, and I forgot to mention in the beginning, so just wanted to make sure that I tell you that. I hope that you stay healthy, keep knitting, crocheting, and doing what makes you happy. And until I see you next time, happy knitting. Ciao.